Okay, so in the problems that you sent me, number 5, it talks about the change of base formula. So excuse the beeping, my fire alarm needs to be changed. But so the change of base formula. So let's start with that. So the formula looks like this. So it says that if you have some log, so the log of some base of c, so the b and the c here represent two random numbers. It can be any real numbers. The b we call the base, and c, the c we don't have a specific name for, but it's just what we're taking the log of. So we can rewrite that. We change the base so that we have log of c divided by the log of b. So what happens is our base doesn't need to be specified here. We're just taking the log of the c and the log of the base b and dividing. Another way we can think about that is log of c base 10 and log of b base 10. So whenever you don't see a base, you assume the base is 10. So this is the change of base formula. So for the problem that you were given, they asked us to use the change of base formula for log base 2 of 6 here. So we can rewrite it based on this formula to be log of 6 divided by log of 2 using the change of base formula. And then you're just going to put that straight into your calculator. Log 6 divided by log 2. Then once you're done, you should get 2.5849625. I think they asked for 6 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can get rid of the 5. And that will be our final answer. Alright, let's move on to the second problem. Number 13. So in the second problem, hold on, let me get it to focus a little more. Okay, in the second problem, they give us that the velocity is represented by the equation v of t equals 80 times 1 minus e with an exponent of negative 0.2t. So this is the equation or formula that they give us. So what this formula means is that we can find any velocity by multiplying 80 times 1 minus e to the power of negative 0.2 times whatever the time that has passed is. So they're giving us a certain thing. They tell us what happens if the velocity is 60 feet per second. So if it's 60 feet per second, they're giving us a velocity. So what represents the velocity? Well, they tell us that this v of t does. So that means we can replace that with 60. So we're going to replace everything with, everything else remains the same. As you see here, I just brought this part of the equation that they gave us down. Now we just need to solve this for t, because they want to know, if we know the velocity is 60 feet per second, what is the, if we know the velocity is 60 feet per second, what is the time going to be, or how long does it take to get a velocity of 60 feet per second? Alright, so we're going to solve this for t to get the t. The reason we're not solving for e is because in math, e actually is a number. It's kind of like pi. E represents 2.71. It's actually a constant, but we just use the letter e instead of writing out this number. Okay. Alright, so we're going to divide by 80 first, because this 80 times this parentheses here, or next to the parentheses here, means we're multiplying. So to get rid of the 80, we're going to divide. $60 divided by 80 is 0.75. And then if we divide by 80 and we had 80, what's left is nothing, 1. So we just bring down what's in the parentheses. The parentheses was only serving the purpose of distinguishing the 80 from what's inside. So once we get rid of the 80, we no longer need the parentheses. Alright, the next thing we can do to solve for the t over here is get rid of the 1. So we will subtract the 1. To get negative 0.25. And then we can continue this process.